eThekwini Mayor Nqobile Kaunda is expected to deliver his State of the City address tomorrow. And as has been well documented, it comes amid a water crisis, poor service delivery and even a rates boycott. The mayor is expected to provide a detailed account of the municipality's performance while outlining interventions to deal with the social challenges that are facing the city. Nqobile is there and joins us now. Nqobile, good morning. As we've said, it's been a legacy and a litany of issues where you are. So what is happening ahead of the State of the Province address tomorrow?
A very good morning, Iman. Well, we do know that at the moment the Democratic Alliance is holding its own State of the City address. Obviously, we know that they are outlining things that are wrong in the city. But if we just, paint a picture of what what some of those issues are, you'd know that we have an ongoing water crisis in the city of eThekwini that's been documented throughout. I mean, just the other week, Water and Sanitation Minister Nqobile was here to launch the Upper Umkomazi bulk water system that's supposed to augment water supply to eThekwini, which is already, strained as it is. The week before that, he was also launching the Lower Umkomazi bulk water supply system, which is also meant to augment those areas around eThekwini, like the south coast. So there's been a number of water issues in the city. We know in Kwamashu, there's a section there that doesn't have any water. There's Verulam, there's the likes of Tongat. A lot of areas in the city where some of them haven't had water for a long time. And I remember when the Water and Sanitation Minister Nqobile was addressing us during one of those launches, he mentioned the fact that he was watching a report once and he saw that what was being said was that there was no water at all for those residents who were being referred to in Kwamashu, when the situation is that the water is sporadic. Sometimes there's water, sometimes there isn't water. And we saw a lot of people, who are from in and around the city, just saying, sometimes these people who are at the top don't really understand what's happening on the ground. So when someone says there isn't water, there hasn't been water since last year, they really mean that there hasn't been any water. So tomorrow we get to hear exactly what the Mayor Nqobile Kaunda will be saying in his State of the City address. Outside of the water woes, we have electricity issues. And you'd remember that strike by workers affiliated to the South African Municipal Workers Union that crippled the city, brought the city to its knees, where some areas didn't have power for as long as that strike action took place. In some areas, we know that there wasn't power, there wasn't water, and those are just some of the issues that a lot of people have been complaining about. And then there's the rates boycott, which was initiated by some of the ratepayers associations in and around the city. And in fact, I do have Asad Gafar, who is from the Westville Ratepayers Association, just to speak to me about, what some of their issues are, particularly with Mayor Nqobile Kaunda. I know that there was a meeting last week that he was meant to attend with some of the associations and he didn't show up. So maybe speak to us about, what, from your point of view, what are some of the pressing issues that the mayor should be touching on tomorrow?
Thank you for having us. Some of the pressing issues, like you've rightfully pointed out, is the water issue. Water is a constitutional right, and I'm glad that you brought it up. In some areas, Kwamashu, outside of Kwamashu, Inanda, those areas haven't had water for more than 3 years. And these communities are suffering, and they got to use buckets and they got to walk long distances to collect water. It's unacceptable. Then on top of it, we have the issue of raw sewage. That's not only flowing into the oceans and the rivers, it's flowing in the townships. People have to walk through raw sewage to get a taxi. It's unacceptable. I mean, all of these issues need to be resolved. They're environmental issues. It's impacting on people's health and their well-being. And the general makeover of the city is in chaos. Now, when you talk about the raw sewage in the oceans, we know for a fact that now 2 years consecutively, tourism has been affected by eThekwini. People don't want to come to eThekwini anymore. The figures have already proven that before July was the Durban, the South African playground for everyone. People used to flock to Durban just to come and enjoy our beaches. People don't come here anymore. And that's impacting on those individuals who rely on tourism on the beachfront for their livelihoods. They sit there, they are vendors, they try to make a living, and they are losing out. So tourism, besides, I mean, obviously the tourism industry, the hotels, etc. I mean, the hotels, a lot of them are being compromised, and they contribute to the economy of the city. So when you're looking at this budget as an example, the tariff increase, one of the key factors that the city is raising is that cash flow to the city has been affected. And it's being affected because of the city themselves. If tourism is down, the hotels don't make money. If they don't make money, they can't contribute more to the running of the city. There's so many things. If you just take a drive down the road, you will see the amount of potholes, you will see the amount of broken pipes, you'll see the amount of non-functioning streetlights. The city is in chaos. So it would be, from our side, we would be happy to see what the mayor is going to talk about. What's this turnaround plan? Because we've been trying to assist the city, and we've been putting solutions on the table. We are hoping that they would listen to us. We want to help them with water and sanitation. We want to help them to fix tourism because we care about the city. If we didn't care, we wouldn't worry and we would walk away. So our stance is we want to form a working relationship. We want to assist the city and we want to see the city work.
Thank you very much. That is Asad Gafar from the Westville Ratepayers Association, also just telling us about some of the other issues that I also didn't mention, being the issue of raw sewage. You'd remember that last year, in December particularly, tourism did suffer a huge blow when some of the beaches in and around the city had to be closed because of raw sewage. And now the issues there also stem from the non-maintenance of infrastructure when it comes to, maintaining those particular places that are responsible for making sure that there isn't any sewage in and around the cities. And so many of these issues are coming out, and many people are saying they can't wait to hear exactly what Kaunda will be saying tomorrow as he delivers that State of the City address amid all these issues that have been mentioned by Mr. Asad Gafar himself and some of the things that I've mentioned as well. People are waiting with bated breath to hear exactly what he will be saying and what that turnaround strategy for the city of eThekwini will be.
Yeah, Nqobile, it reminds me of a poem which I'm just going to kind of paraphrase. You know, if you look at South Africa and liken it to a map and ask where is it hurting, it will say everywhere, because where you are is, again, an area that is replete with issues. They are not new issues, and it will be interesting to hear exactly what the mayor is going to say in his State of the City address, to address in very real ways concerns and a lived experience that the community has had for a while now. Nqobile Modise will bring us the very latest. Of course, we'll carry that address live tomorrow as well.